Good evening. A political hit job has just spectacularly backfired. While the media has been obsessing over Marjorie Taylor Greene's $1,000 stock purchases on the day of Trump's tariff pause, they've inadvertently exposed far more suspicious trading patterns among other members of Congress. Ross Givens, former VP at J.P. Morgan Chase, returns tonight to reveal how the smear campaign against Marjorie Taylor Greene has pulled back the curtain on Nancy Pelosi's recent options trade that netted a stunning 360% gain in just 1 month. And Representative Susie Lee's perfectly timed German arms manufacturer purchase that's up 161%. Who the hell is Susie Lee anyway? Now, the contrast between MTG's small trades and these suspicious windfalls is about to become impossible to ignore. Ross Givens, welcome back.
Hey, good to see you, Gary.
It's great to have you back. I always love the revelations. You've got some more good stuff for us today. You were looking at Marjorie Taylor Greene's small stock purchase. Everyone was screaming about it. New York Times, on the day of the tariff pause. What is your assessment as a Wall Street veteran?
Well, nothing she does or has done this month looks in any way like insider trading. And the reason they're going after this, Democrats, they just can't celebrate good news. They have to turn this into some kind of a smear campaign. And what happened, the market's been down for 2 months over threats of the tariffs and everything coming. Trump announced, as you know, on April 9th, that he's going to pause those tariffs everywhere but China, and the stock market roared. And I mean, it went up 12% in 1 day. Gary, that is the second best day in the history of the stock market. So anybody who bought that day or the day before had a nice big windfall, and they've searched high and low. What they found was some stock trades from Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, as you said, these were pretty small trades. So you can see her transaction reports there. And what they do, members of Congress, this is all public information, by the way. I can show anybody how to find this stuff. But they have to put the trade size in a category. So it's like 50 to 100,000, 100 to 250, $1 million to $5 million. All of her trades are at the minimum size, $1,000 to $15,000. So first of all, if you're going to risk your political career to insider trade, you're going to do it with more than a couple $1,000.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. And the other part of it is which stocks she bought. And that's really where you can see insider trading. So she bought a ton of stocks, and these are not off the radar little penny stocks that made a big move. These are household names. She bought Adobe, AMD, Amazon, Apple, all the usual. So it's just a basket of U.S. stocks. And when you look at what these did following that tariff pause, maybe one or two did more, but for the most part, they just went up around the same as the market did or a little bit less. Now, if you were trying to insider trade on this news, let's say she did know the day before, was trying to capitalize on it. 1, you use a lot more money. 2, you'd probably use options. But 3, you would have bought the stocks that were going to get the biggest boost when those tariffs were paused. And the best performers that day were stocks with international exposure, was airlines and cruise ships, stuff like that. She didn't buy any of those. So it is, as you put, a smear campaign. I see nothing that is in any way indicative of insider trading. If this is insider trading, then what? I don't even know what you'd call what Pelosi's been doing.
Well, I mean, just the headline alone. I mean, look, it's New York Times. Greene bought market dip before Trump paused tariffs, profiting from the... Okay, how much did she profit, Ross?
On average, 7 or 8%, maybe 10%, on a couple $1,000 a piece. I mean...
And Pelosi's doing what? Like 360?
Pelosi's knocking them down millions at a time. Oh, the insider trader herself. Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, best case, we don't know the exact dollar amount, somewhere between 1 to 15,000 per trade, but best case, she made 20 grand that day.
Okay,
probably more like 3 or 4.
So you mentioned she's bought household stocks. What stocks? If you mentioned international, what international stocks would she have been paying attention to if she wanted to profit off that?
Yeah, it would have been the ones with international exposure. So the stocks that are hurt the most from these tariffs. So airline stocks had a huge day. Cruise line stocks had a huge day. For example, one of the stocks she bought was Amazon. All right. Now, if she knew that they're going to pause the tariffs in advance, then she also knew he was not pausing against China. Well, guess who gets most of their products from China? Amazon. The stock went up like 3 or 4% that day. It's just not what you'd purchase. But I'll show you what insider trading looks like. I posted this on X. Can you show me that Pelosi, this one right here? Yeah, go to the top of this. Now, this is a stock Pelosi bought recently. You want to see what insider trading
Tempest
looks like?
Tempest AI options trade. That was a 360%.
Yeah, so you can buy stock, which most people are familiar with, but you can also buy what are called stock options, which is a leveraged play on that stock. So options are like a limited time bet. You're betting that stock's going to make a big move very quickly. And if it doesn't, you lose all the money. Okay, stock goes down 10%, you lose it all. Now, you can see here how well she timed her trade, okay? Not only did she buy the low,
Wow.
not only did it go from 35 to 90 in a month, but again, she bought the options. At the time, they were trading at like $15 a piece. And the next month, there were $70 a piece. That's the trade ticket. That's the official form there. And if you scroll to the next,
so she put 50 to 100,000 versus the other chart you showed me for Marjorie Taylor Greene that was 1,000 to what, 10,000, right?
Yeah, 1 to 15. But again, that's $100,000 worth of stock options. So
that's what I'm trying to say is New York Times is pointing out that she made this, tiny stock move. Like the headline makes it sound worse, but then when you look at what Pelosi's actually doing here and the dollar amounts, it's tenfold difference.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then the thing with Pelosi's trade, it's one stock. I can pretty much connect her to someone at Tempest AI who more than likely tipped her off to this information.
Oh, really?
And so here's what I found. And I did some digging on this trade because it just felt a little bit different. And what Pelosi did, or who she's connected to at that company, is a woman.
Department of Health and Human Services, Lauren Silvis.
Yeah, if you can go up, let me see if you can scroll up a little bit. There's put that one. Let's see. You go to just the. Edit this out.
Oh, I think you want me to go.
Just click on the Pelosi one, and it should
yes.
see all the reply. There you go. All right.
Pelosi's connected to Lauren Silvis, Senior Vice President of External Affairs, who oversees government policy. She holds a role despite having zero tech experience.
Yeah.
So what's her connection?
So this woman is a senior vice president at Tempest AI at that company. Now she's in this article I showed you here, being featured as one of 34 DC healthcare power players who shaped the rules for a $33.5 trillion industry. And you can see the cover on that next image there. So this is a woman who is very connected to DC, to politicians, to the power players. But earlier, there's more than this, Gary. Early in her career, this woman, Ms. Silvis, was a partner at Sidley Austin Law Firm. Now, this is a left-leaning law firm, and their political donations are a clear reflection of that. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars to the DNC, to Kamala Harris, to the Act Blue, to state Democrat parties, even money straight to Nancy Pelosi. Now, she's a partner at this firm that gives millions of dollars to Democrats, Democrat causes, straight to Pelosi. You know that gets you some access. So
Okay.
Not a stretch.
Hang on. Let me connect the dots here. So, Democrat donor.
Yep.
Right? She's already connected inside with policy and healthcare and all this other stuff. She also happens to be the head of Tempest AI. And then Pelosi goes ahead and buys an option, makes 360% on top of the stock that this person is connected to.
Yeah, but it's even deeper. Right? So she's at this firm that has connections.
How can it go deeper than that?
Listen, this woman was a partner at a law firm donating millions of dollars to Democrat causes, right? From there, she goes to work as chief of staff at the FDA, then as a senior advisor
Seriously?
to the Department of Health and Human Services. Now, those departments work closely with Congress, with Pelosi, with lawmakers. They're working directly together. And then here's the cherry on top. Do you know where the Department of Health and Human Services is housed, Gary?
Where?
The HHS Region 9 headquarters is not only located in Pelosi's district in San Francisco, California, it is inside, and I'm not making this up, the Nancy Pelosi Federal Building. So connect the dots here. we have this woman, Lauren Silvas, one of the top healthcare power brokers in D.C., who was a partner at a far left-leaning law firm with connections to Pelosi. She works closely with lawmakers at the FDA and the HHS. Then she takes a vice president position at a multi-billion-dollar AI company, despite having no tech experience, where she is in charge of government affairs. And I'm supposed to believe that she did not tip off her old buddy, Nancy Pelosi, that her firm was about to unveil its next generation Tempest One model with game-changing healthcare technology. I'm supposed to believe it's a coincidence that Pelosi just so happened to put 6 figures into a highly leveraged, time-sensitive bet on this off-the-radar stock the same week of the announcement at the company. I mean,
you're killing me right now, dude. Like, I'm about to fall out of this chair. Because like you just kept connecting dot after dot. I didn't think you could go any further, but yeah, that's insane, dude.
That's what I mean. Like, that is a case of insider trading. It's a pretty clear path there. Short of a recorded phone call, I don't know what more proof you need about this. And then you got their mouthpiece, the New York Times, out there saying, "Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene's is dirty," and it's just not the case. The only silver lining to all of this, Gary, is that you can see what stocks they're buying. And I'm showing you all this. You can see most of this stuff in real time. And so what we do, how we've been so successful in the stock market, is just from following their trades. And so we hold these training events even every couple of months. We actually have one coming up on Thursday. It's May the 8th at 3. But we show people how to do this. So I show people how to find the trades of both politicians and corporate insiders, how to look for these opportunities, these clear, obvious, opportunistic insider buys that we can just then follow and ride along. And while it's not going to make you love Pelosi, you're not going to be quite as angry if your stock portfolio quadrupled last month on that trade you took following her. So anyone can join, by the way.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, if you guys want to join that, I think there's a link below. Click, we'll send you all the details on it.
So basically, like we just showed you, this is information. Because we've had you on before, you've talked about this before, so this isn't shocking, but this is the new information that's just come out. This is
happened. Yeah,
she just did this.
Yeah, and look, you've got Hawley trying to reintroduce the Pelosi Act, which is hilarious. Yeah. His bill to ban congressional trading, a fitting name called the Pelosi Act, and he introduced this thing 2 years ago. It never went to a vote.
Yeah,
they've tried to ban before, and Pelosi she'll pull her usual trick. She'll attach it to some bill that's never going to pass, or she'll, call for a vote on like New Year's Eve when nobody's going to come. So she'll try to get this thing pushed under the rug. But, in the meantime, I think people need to be following these trades, at least profit off of it.
Well, the last time you were here, I think we did mention the Susie Lee character. And I think you had texted me right afterwards, and something had just happened right after we spoke.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy cow, I just figured this thing out too. And so I'm glad you're back to follow up on this. Susie Lee. Okay, just lay it out for us here.
Yeah, well, it's another, look, it's not just Pelosi. They're all doing this stuff. And Susie Lee is another perfect example. So Susie Lee is a representative, a Democrat representative. And Republicans do this too. I'm not trying to throw them under the bus, but she hadn't bought a single stock since 2022 until this. So she buys this stock, Rheinmetall, which is a German arms manufacturer. So hadn't bought a stock in 3 years. She goes in for one stock. And then soon after, that's what I text you, was this headline. Yeah. Germany approved a record increase to military spending, billions of dollars, a lot of which is going directly to Rheinmetall. And you can see what happened with that stock.
There she is. There's the buy. There's the headline. And
look at the chart. There it is.
Look at that.
It's up 184% now.
Good Lord.
Right? And so some publication asked her about it, and her representative reached back and said, oh, she didn't even know about the trade. her husband bought it for her son. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
her
right.
ex-husband bought it. Yeah, as ex-husbands do, out there researching, off the radar German arms manufacturing companies to buy for their children, right? So it must be a total coincidence that this woman also just happens to be on the House subcommittee for military construction. All coincidences, I'm sure.
Unbelievable.
I believe in some luck. The market, there's a certain amount of luck, but you buy one stock in 3 years and it's this one, give me a break.
Yeah, right.
But again, I told you about it when we were on here before. It's you can see these when they buy them. So you can buy the same stocks if you
throw
want.
it back to the hedge funds when we talk about the hedge
we talked
funds
about this last time. I mean, members of Congress are beating every hedge fund on Wall Street. That's not normal, Gary. And I don't mean a lucky stock here or there. I mean, this is their weighted portfolio returns. And you've got guys making 140, 149, 150%. Buffett made 24% last year, to put that in perspective.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I think I put Buffett down there at the bottom so you can see where there's Buffett down there. And these are all the members of Congress that slaughtered the returns of the greatest investor of all time last year, buying stocks from their cell phone in between meetings. So, yeah, you tell me they're not cheating.
David Rouser. That guy's killing it.
Yeah.
That guy's killing it, man.
Yeah, I feel like his talents are wasted there in Congress. You ought to be running some kind of.
I mean, he's doing more than twice as well as Nancy Pelosi, and everyone rags on Nancy Pelosi, but I think we got to start looking into David Rouser to start tracking him.
Yeah, Pelosi's the tip of the iceberg, man. I mean, she's the head of the spear, because when she places that $100,000 in an option, which became $500,000 or something a month, that's a small trade for her. She made millions on Nvidia buying right before the CHIPS Act. She made a ton of money on Google buying up options right before they ruled on whether they were Congress was going to take action, some sort of legislation regarding them as a monopoly. I mean, she's been doing this for decades.
So let's compare and contrast. Why is what Pelosi did more concerning than supposedly Marjorie Taylor Greene's purchases that the New York Times is making a big deal out of?
Well, because she's the one insider trading. I mean, that's a big concentrated bet on a single stock that is about to announce a huge piece of information. It's going to triple the value of the stock in a month, where your old buddy you've worked with for 20 years just happens to be a vice president. I mean, MTG's out there putting $3,000 or $4,000 into the same 20 stocks that are in everybody's 401k account. It's like it's just not the same thing. It's possible, but here, even if she did know the tariffs were coming, Trump told everybody. Right? The President of the United States posted on X at 9:00 that morning, "This is a good time to buy." Okay? So
yeah, he did.
He kind of told everybody in a roundabout way. I didn't quite interpret it the way I should have, but nonetheless, I mean, you got MTG up 6 or 7% on a basket of the same stocks everybody else up 6-7% on. And then you got Pelosi quadrupling her money. You've got, Susie over here tripling her money in a month with German arms manufacturers. Not even to mention
that's another direct connected dots right there. Like the Honorable Susie Lee,
honorable
ex-husband buys stock for her son, and then Germany approves a weapons deal worth $2.6 billion. You can't make this up, dude.
I mean, who's ever heard of Rheinmetall? I've been in the market for 20 years. I didn't even know the stock existed. Yeah. And it's the one she bought in 3 years.
Unbelievable.
I just don't believe it. So anyway, like I said, the only silver line to this, I know it makes people angry. Maybe they'll ban it one day. I still think they'll find a workaround, but we can track these trades. If I can give any positivity from this, click the link, join our training event. We do them every couple of months. We had a great turnout last time, but I'm trying to show people this is all public information. Okay, you can see what stocks they buy. We can see these opportunities where you've got both politicians. It might be the CEO and the CFO and the board members and the VPs all piling in right before some big, drug trial release or FDA announcement. It could be a AI company like this before they announce their new model. I mean, people are just in a position to have better information. Whether you're someone like Pelosi that's so well connected, or you're the CEO of a company and you see all this information, and corruption's not going anywhere. It's been around for 5,000 years. It's not going to stop tomorrow or next month. They'll just find another loophole to get around it. So what we do is show people how to follow the information, take the same trades, and hopefully make some money for yourself alongside this.
So what will people learn at this training event? It's this Thursday, networkofinsiders.com.
Yeah, this Thursday at 3 o'clock Eastern. It's an online event. It's free to attend. So we show them a couple things. One is, how to find these trades. There's online free to access databases. You can see the House, the Senate, and also all these corporate executives. We show them what to look for. Like we've been doing this since 2017. We've beat the market every single year. So again, not by any great skill of mine, but we're just following people who continuously beat the market. So we'll look at a lot of examples, what those stocks have in common, what kind of things you want to look for, and just try to point you in the right direction and show you how to do this yourself. We also have a service. We do it for our members as well. People want to learn about that. But it's very eye-opening, and people are generally blown away when they see what's there and that it's free. You can access it.
Every time you come on this show, you blow me away. Like, I'm not making this up. This isn't like feigned excitement or anything. This is real legitimate, like, I mean, this stock was only in February that she bought. And then you connected the dots all the way through the government agencies, through to the very building where their office is. And it's got Nancy Pelosi's name.
It's a nice little piece of irony there at the end, isn't it?
It really was. I was not expecting that. Ross, thank you for coming on the show and sharing this with me and our viewers tonight. So I hope everyone takes advantage of this and learns how to figure these rabbit holes and how to profit from it. So
that's it.
Any final thoughts?
No, I appreciate what you're doing. Love watching your videos at the White House. Very cool to see. Keep up the great work, man. It hasn't been that long since it was CNBC and Fox and all the big guys. Was the only source of news, and it's so refreshing to have honesty and transparency from people like yourself. So we appreciate everything you're doing.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you so much. All right, we'll have you back again. And my friends, the contrast couldn't be clearer. While the media fixates on $1,000 trades that bought none of the stocks that benefited most of the tariff pause, the real story is hiding in plain sight. 360% gains on options trades and perfectly timed purchases of foreign defense contractors. What began as a smear campaign against Marjorie Taylor Greene has inadvertently exposed the real patterns of suspicious congressional trading that deserve scrutiny. Now, this is not about partisan politics. It's about market integrity and ordinary investors having the tools to recognize the difference. So if you're tired of media misdirection and you want to understand how to identify truly significant congressional trading patterns, Ross's free training event this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern could be your entry point to a strategy that has delivered returns as high as 1,912% for his members. So register now. The link's in the description, networkofinsiders.com, to receive his latest insider stock pick and detailed analysis. So Ross, thank you once again for cutting through the noise and bringing clarity to the issue.
My pleasure. Always good to see you, Gary.
All right, we'll have you back again soon. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi.